All right, good morning, everyone. You guys ready to get started? It's 9:15. Probably shouldn't wait too much longer, huh? All right. Welcome back to 1 Million Cups. I do need to ask you to please try and scan the QR code to check in. We already know it hasn't worked on an Android phone this morning, but I'd like to find out if it's working for anybody else. Just remember that when you sign in, you're basically just letting our mothership know how many entrepreneurs we have here. And it just helps us to keep account of the entrepreneurial spirit in the country, but it also puts you on our mailing list. And when we send out our emails every Monday to let you know who's presenting, you will know ahead of time, which is always nice. Maybe. Some people probably don't care at all. That'd be me. I just like to come no matter what. But it is always nice to see all of you here. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you to Line Creek Bus Barn for giving us the space. Aaron for coaching. Russ for paying for the coffee. The coffee comes from Foxtail, the Peachtree City location. And usually Ron picks it up, but he had a paying job this morning, so he's off and working. Russ picked it up, and he's here. He's just in his car. Great. So it's just you, man. Oh, it means it worked. That's terrible. I gotta tell them that's a terrible experience, right? Flow finished. Like, what? But that doesn't mean you're checked in. It should say you're checked in or gotcha, welcome, something, right? Flow is finished. Yes. Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing, I guess. Anyway, road ready events for the sound system. I think I thanked everybody at this point. So just make sure that you feel appreciated. I'm really glad you guys are all here each week. Just a reminder, we need to fill our pipeline for speakers. Abby, we have a speaker next week, and then it's after that we don't, or is next week already a week that we don't? I don't remember. We don't know if we have anybody for next week. Okay. Okay. Great. It's always that's why it's so important for me to stand up here and say that we need speakers, because it's usually when I get back to my computer that an application comes in from somebody who isn't even in the room. Just the powers that be, right? The voice is heard. So I'm putting it out there that we need more speakers, and I do know that there are two people in the room that say that they want to present again. So we got to make sure you get in the system so we can make sure it happens. Never presented of all this time you've been coming? Well, that's very exciting. That's very exciting. So we have some presenters in the pipeline. We just need to make sure you go through the system, fill out the form. It's a whole thing, but it's a really easy thing. So not a big. Is it an easy form? You guys are speaking this morning. Was it easy? It was easy, right? Yeah, right. It's a 1-minute form. There you go. Yes, we can all handle 1-minute forms. Speaking of forms, the Chamber of Commerce sent out a survey. I don't know if you guys are members or not, but if you are, you should have received an email with a survey. I got all the way through it. It said at the beginning it's going to take you like 7 to 10 minutes. So I sat down and I was like, here we go. And I went to hit submit at the end, and it took me back to question 3 and said, you must select something. But I did select something, and it won't go through. So now I'm like afraid to close my browser because I don't want to lose everything else I did, but I reported it to them. I hope that it's working for other people at least. Because that's always the worst, right? Technical glitch you have to go back and apologize for. Anyway, Survey Monkey, you never know. Anyway, okay, so today our speaker is Yaniv. We met at Artpreneur 2 years ago and had a great lunch together at Barley Garden, really got to know each other a little bit, and then unfortunately never really followed up. Like, I have to admit, you know, the to-dos reminders app in your phone? You have literally been a reminder in my phone to like reach back out for over a year now, because I just saw you at Artpreneur last month. It's sad. It's sad. But I'm really glad that Roger and Charlene recommended that they present at 1 Million Cups, and here we are today. So they were going to come last week but couldn't make it. We gave them a little rundown of how the whole thing works, and of course he's going against the grain and doing something a little bit different, which I couldn't love more. So I'm very excited to introduce Yaniv up and let him kind of lead us through today's presentation.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you for having us. This is me and Glenda, my partner in crime, who's not in only like a partner in crime in business, but also in life. She's my wife. So yes, yes. Okay. So who's here for the first time? Like us, for example? Yeah, we're just the two of us, I guess. Oh, you do, you too. Okay. I would love to hear about everybody's business around here. So for now, you're all like unknown to me, but because this is our first time here, and we were thrown into the water, we actually choose to do that by presenting, our new service for the new company. I would like to start by saying thank you, Jason, for having us over here. This is amazing. We heard about this idea from Roger and Charlene, so thank you, Roger, for that. Abigail is here. Oh, okay. So now I know who you are. Thank you so much for also helping us to prepare for that. And Aaron is here as well. That's Aaron. Okay, so hi, Aaron. Thank you so much for guiding us. So now I connect some people to, some faces to, so I know. By the way, especially for you because what's your name? Marsha. So Marsha, since you're first time here, like us, so Abby is, if I understand correctly, working with Jason Hunter Design, and they're volunteering here in this organization, having us, hosting us nicely here. So she prepared us towards today's talk, and so did Aaron, whose company is actually advising new entrepreneurs in their new steps and taking them by the hand and bringing them to success, which is exciting. We're looking forward to work with Aaron as well. So that's the kind of house cleaning, if you may. First of all, what I want to tell you about is about Fancy Design, the company that we have nice helpers today. Those are the audio engineers, I guess, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's wonderful. Maybe actually we're gonna use. We'll see. So Fancy Design. This is our company, and for the past decade and a half, 15 years, we've been creating wonderful videos, for corporates, whether it's like corporate videos, events, weddings, you name it, like everything that we can film, we did. But now we have a great opportunity here in front of you to kind of present a new service. I'm not going to tell you much about this service at first. We're going to do like some kind of interaction with one of you. And then after the interaction, you will know a little bit more about it. So we're going to do it in a reverse way. First, we're going to see how it's done and why it's done, and then we're going to learn what it is actually that we're doing. So I don't put any of you on the spot. I started early this morning by asking Jason to be a volunteer. So I will not ask for volunteer. I will ask Jason if you can come over to the stage. Let's call it like, if you may sit here for a second. Let's call it like almost like a game show. So welcome to What's Your Story show, okay, if you may. And it's not a show, the business, yeah. Here's Jason. Do you have a microphone? You don't. I'll share my microphone with you because yeah, it will take turns. So it's not really necessary. It's really fine, to work with like that. So, by the way, do you know how many people are at home like watching it?
A lot of people they come on and watch.
Oh, wonderful.
Time.
Yes.
So there may be 1, 2, 5 different watchers now, but usually people go on and watch.
So hi to all of you at home. Welcome to the game show. So I put a camera here just to show you. This is just props, just to show you like what we're doing. I'm going to have a recorded session with Jason, And I'm gonna ask him to tell me something about his life. Maybe let's go back to your younger self at grades like 9, 10, something like that. And if you can tell me briefly, because I have a limited time here and I still want to present what we're doing. So if you can tell me, like, if you can think about like one field trip that you really enjoy going to, something that maybe kind of you remember for a reason because it was not only.
First thing that
Yes.
popped into mind was so I grew up in New Jersey, so going on ski trips was easy, right? An hour away, we were at a ski resort, and I have a pretty good memory being on the school bus with all my classmates going up to go skiing. And what makes me remember that one particular trip is that one of my friends got, it's gonna sound terrible, but he got pretty badly injured, and I remember he wasn't like handicapped or anything after that, but he was being stupid in how he was skiing, and he got out of control, hit a rock, ended up just falling and just got hurt. But I remember that trip because that was traumatic, I guess. There you go.
I hope he's still a friend of yours nowadays.
You know, it's funny that I'm talking about him now because he did come up in my consciousness the other day, and I have no idea how to reach him because he's not on social media. People exist if they're not on social media. I'm not sure.
Maybe so, unless they want to be private. Maybe he worked for the CIA. Who knows?
Hey,
Yeah.
we all need a friend that works in the CIA.
There you go. So that's a wonderful story. We'll touch that in a minute. I want to collect yet another short story from you, please. Think of that same age, about the same age, about one of your teachers, a teacher that actually changed the way you see things or influence you in such way.
100%. Mr. Calcaterra, he went by Mr. C, and he is also on my list of reminders to reach out to that has been there for literal years. He was an English teacher. He was the kind of teacher that would pull me up to the front of the room and we would just sit talking about Bob Dylan lyrics while the rest of the class had their head down doing tests or whatever else, and we would talk. He would just give me the sort of attention that I suppose I needed at that age. That really opened my mind to a lot of different things. Absolutely helped to steer the direction I like.
That's amazing. And there is a phrase, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it's something like a good teacher will actually pave the life for you, and it sounds like he did, which is really great. So here is what we did here today, just so you know, just so we can connect it to what we do. What I did is I recorded Jason. Well, this camera has a lens cap on it, so we didn't really record it just as a prompt. But that's a setup of how we would record people's stories. And that's what we're all about. I'm going to explain in more details in a second. But let me just collect one more story, one last one, I promise, from you. That's kind of very emotional, sentimental kind of. You have children, young children, from what I saw. Yeah, at the ages.
5, 2, and 1.
Okay, and they have all their future ahead of them, and thinking about them turning into like adults at the age of 18, or maybe at their weddings. I know it's far away, but would you find it interesting to leave a message for them in the future? Like, let's say you recorded it right now, today. They know that it's today. We can even mention the year, the exact date. And you would leave them a message in the future. Let's say when they turn 18, do you think of something smart that you can tell them that you would hope that they lead their life in such way, at the age of 18?
That is a very deep question for 9, 15 on a
For sure.
I think be brave and take chances. Probably the shortest, concise message that I can come up with. But as you asked me that question, I had a whole list of things that I probably want to refine and put into words for them.
Isn't it wonderful when you can actually record yourself leaving like a time capsule message for them in the future, whether you're gonna be there for them or hopefully, pray to God that you will, or maybe in some cases people get to the age that they're not anymore there. In fact, the other day I told Glenda, who's sitting there and she's recording us also. So I told her, you're turning into, let's say, 40 to be 50. Okay, she disclosed it. I didn't. So imagine if you could leave a message into the future to your own daughter when she's gonna be 50. You may not be around to celebrate this age with her, and you can leave messages in the future. So, anyways, Jason, thank you so much so far. I'm gonna continue from here. That's very good. You have a very supportive audience here, as you can see. So let me tell you what was that all about. I'm gonna tell you the history of the past 15 years. As I was recording a lot of videos, always the personal stories really were appealing to me. I always thought to myself, wow, nobody throughout their life take the time to really record specific stories, about themselves. We collect stories about the companies. We would record weddings at somebody's very important day. And even at weddings, I found myself asking the bride while she's putting the makeup and she's getting ready for the big celebration. I asked her, can you tell me on video the story of how you met? The two of you, the couple. And can you tell me how he proposed to you? And all these nice stories, I found them to be very personal, very interesting in the context of putting it as a video memory for her to watch for years to come. And that's what that's how the new service was born. What we're doing is we're starting to create video biographies. This is the service. Video biographies in such way that, how people sometimes would get like a writer or sit by themselves to write their own autobiography and then they publish it on a book. Guess what? A process like that, if you get somebody to write it with you, takes about 9 months, just like a whole pregnancy, the duration of the whole pregnancy. It takes more than $40,000 for somebody to really sit with you almost every day and write your stories and then edit them. And eventually you have a book that you wish that somebody would free up their time to read it. Your kids may or may not in the future, but time have changed. Videos nowadays are stronger than ever before. We keep telling it to business owners. We know for a fact that when you get married, you want to have a video, not only pictures. Everything becomes very short and straight to the point. We like to watch content better than to read it. And what a wonderful way would it be to actually put people's life stories on video. So this is how the new service came to life. Now, I want to ask Jason just something else. You sat here and you told me a couple of stories. Be honest with me, and it's okay if the answer is yes or no. Is she okay? Okay, one down. Sorry for that. Okay, so this story about the field trip, your wife knows this story? Probably not. How about this special teacher who changed the way you see life?
I think she's heard me mention it before.
She did, but your kids probably did not.
Definitely not.
And maybe you will not hear it in the future.
I would probably share his influence on me because.
Yeah, may or may not. Yeah, that's a good answer. And we ask you also. Oh, and the last thing that I ask you about the future message for them in the future. Clearly, they would be interested in watching something like that. So, what we found out by starting to actually creating these video biographies is that We're not documenting anymore. We are, yes, the camera is there. Did you feel the presence of the camera? Not so much. Even if you had a fear of camera, you were looking at me, talking to me. So the camera was something technical on the side. There's no fear of it. There is no kind of something that you should worry about. Usually, by the way, we take with two cameras. I just brought one for a prop. So what we created actually between us now, or what we create with every person that we're doing the service with, is a moment. It takes 3 to 5 hours, so it's not just a short moment, it's a long period of time. But over one day, we create an opportunity for one to speak about their lives, about the entire journey of their life. And that's something, if you think about it, you never did and probably will never do. And that's the most important thing that you can leave behind you. Yes, you can acquire wealth and leave yachts and the cars and houses behind you, and I'm sure your family will enjoy it and will appreciate it after you go. They will enjoy it for many generations to come. But the one thing that's the essence of them, the story of who they are and how they came to the world, what brought them, the love that was formed, the family that was formed, past generation story, nothing is left with people after they die. And we always get to the point when we present it, and probably you are also thinking about it right now. I wish you say to yourselves, that my parents or my grandparents had the opportunity to be on a video. I would watch it over and again, and my children will watch it, and my grandchildren will watch it. So this is very, very important. Right now, if I recorded this session, and I wish for Jason to book a schedule like a session with us in the future, a full session. If I recorded that, I would have something that Jason's wife, his children, his bigger circles in the family, like cousins, uncles, and such on, will never be able to know about him. I created a moment that he could actually sit with us and tell us the wonderful story. And that is what we do. We create the moment. Yes, we also record it and edit it. We add some pictures to it and videos from your past. If you have like some old VHS tapes, CDs, or what have you, we put it all in and we create a beautiful story that is not too long to watch. It's fun. It's very informative. And the way we do it, we developed a special software that actually asks you a few questions before this interview that we conduct with you. And it turns it into like a unique questions that we keep you on point. Because, people, especially older people, it's their last stage of life, they tend to kind of go from one story to another, and they're all over the place. So this software helps us to actually keep them right on point. So if you thought to yourself, I wish that I had it, I don't see any reason why any of you can't have this service. And I know the first question, as Jason instructed me before, exactly, how can we as a community help? So I would like you to be part of it. I would like you to do a few things. First of all, I would invite you to visit our website. The service is called Lasting Honor. It's lastinghonor.com. So you know what? If you don't mind for a second, guys, I have a question. I have to ask you something. Can then everybody hold their phone in their hand right now, just for 1 second, okay? Let me wait for everybody to do so. Hold your phone in your hand. Everybody have phone nowadays. Guess what you have in your hands? You have the mean right now in your hands to actually create your own story. You just need to free up the time to do so. But just in case you're not doing that, you're welcome to address us and we will do that for you, professionally, of course. But any form of documenting your life is a beautiful form. Okay, The second reason that you're holding the phone is because I would like you to, if possible right now, it will take just a few seconds of your time, go to lastinghonor.com. Honor can be written with O, without the U, or with the U, because there are two ways to write honor, internationally or the US way. Yes. Lasting. Lasting is Lasting. And lasting, by the way, stands for the memory that lasts forever. And honor, it's HONOR.com. Honor is because we're honoring the person who's actually creating these memories. If you scroll almost all the way to the end, there is like a gift icon. Okay, there you go. It's right here on the screen. Jason did me a favor and they actually put it right there. So if you scroll almost all the way down, even more, right here, you see where it says get a free guide. So this free guide will actually help you to document it in a better way. It will guide you through like many things that you need to know when you're actually going to document yourself. Like I mentioned, you can use your phone and do it yourself. So that's already gift number one. If you register over there, we will know that you're showing interest in us, and we can send you more information on how you can help us even more spread the word. There is an affiliate program that we set up, so it means that everybody can turn into an affiliate. You don't need to be an influencer with a specific website. You can just bring friends through a QR code that you're getting from us, and they will come over and get the service, and you're getting a nice cut out of it. I'm talking about like few $100 cut, which is really good per one referral. And the most important thing for today is we're about to give you a nice gift, a gift that the cost of it is up to $12,000. I know it sounds like unreal because I heard from Jason that people brought some samples, small samples and different things. So I'm not trying to outbid anybody on their generosity. We're trying to actually get you to be one of the first to actually get this video biography. We have few very good samples. People were in front of the camera showing tears, laughter, joy, and every time after we film them, they are standing up after sitting for long hours with us, and they tell us, wow, we never had an opportunity to talk about our lives in such a beautiful way, and things that we spoke about here in this session that we did with them, either we never told a living soul, or people didn't hear that these things that we said for like 20 years. My wife probably doesn't know half of the things that I said, not because I'm hiding things from my wife, but because I never got a chance to talk to her about this special teacher that influenced me, the 3 different things in my life. So with that in mind, I want one of you to actually be able to get to experience the whole service, the whole shebang. What we're going to do is, from all the people that register, you just need to put your first, last name, and email. From all the people that register today, I'm going to pass all these people to Jason, because I entrust Jason to know how to kind of do like, if that's okay with you, to kind of pick one out of these people and just tell us who the lucky winner is. The only thing that we would ask, actually 2 things that we will ask out of this person is, and you should know it ahead of time because it's like terms and conditions apply, at the bottom. We would like to use portions, not intimate portions, but general portions out of the video to demonstrate our service, just like we're doing with all the others that are, starting to do the video biographies with us. And the second thing is that we would like to capture the video with you guys, with the winner, in the next 30 to 60 days. So it means that it needs to be in the next month or 2. Otherwise, it's going to be too late, too down the road, and it's not gonna help us to help you. So hopefully one of you is gonna get a wonderful opportunity, and I open the stage for questions if that's the right time.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job. I'm excited. Awesome. I had a couple of things, I guess.
Yeah.
One, my grandfather wrote a memoir. I have not yet read it, but my mom has gone to tears numerous times having read this, and I just know, obviously, just saying that, like how emotional it is to be able to hear things, the written word in this case, right? But to hear things about his life that we didn't know. His wife, my grandmother, is not alive anymore either, so we don't even know if these are things that she knew. But she obviously got the opportunity to read it after he died, before she died, right?
Do you have a copy of it?
I don't. I just have to ask my mom for it.
Okay, so that's problem number one. You see, you need to reprint the whole book for you to have a copy.
Her brothers both have a copy also. I don't know. I need to ask that question.
Exactly. If it was a video, it was a click away and you would have it.
So that,
Yeah.
One more note is that on Peyton, my 5-year-old, on her first birthday, we had asked everyone at the first birthday party to write a note to her for her future. I don't remember when we said she would get all of these, but I'm embarrassed to say that I put so much stress on what I was going to say that I never wrote anything. And I still have the piece of paper at my desk, and I still intend to do it and just shuffle it in. She doesn't need to know that it took 6 years for me to get to it. But this would be even better, right? So my question
Yes.
that I wrote down is, well, this is before you told us about the website, so I didn't know how far along you were in the process. But my question to you is, are you hosting these videos, and the link is what people are sending to their family members? So the link is what gets passed down, or do they get the video and they're expected to host it somewhere? I just suppose, I believe that YouTube's always going to be around. I believe that Dropbox is always going to be around. But the reality is we have no idea.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
The server that your website is on, like, who knows, right? So I just
Right.
would like to know a little bit more about that. And in terms of that, also maybe the security of it and access to it. Because, like you said, terms and conditions, like you're going to use parts of it, maybe not the intimate parts. But maybe people don't want that video to be found out there for other reasons, right?
Right. So
Those are my questions. And then if you have a question, just raise your hand.
So thank you for these questions. They are very good. First of all, let me address the first portion that you mentioned. So a video form would be much easier to share. So you would get that, that file, and you could watch it very easily. Also, something very interesting about videos, you get to see the person. When you read the book, you don't know, did they hurt at the moment that they needed to tell us that story? Like, for example, when you go into the intimate story, we had one lady, let's not mention her name, and she went through an harassment of some kind that changed her life. She moved from one side, one country to another almost. And while she was telling this story, which is very personal, emotional, and such on, she was showing tears, and it was difficult for her to tell that story. And when you look at her, you know how she felt. If you needed to write it in a book, it would be so difficult. So the video brings us another layer, which is very important for us. So yes, this is the opportunity to answer the second question that Jason asked here about like the security and how we deliver it. So we never share these videos unless you give us permission. So you get to choose if it's going to be shared or it's going to be private for you. And I recommend that for 99% of our clients, it should be like private, because this is your own story to give to whomever you care and whomever is close to you in your family. So this is something that people should keep as private, and therefore we give them the file electronically or on a flash drive, and we encourage them to make copies to the rest of the family members, so it will stay secure within the family. So even if one loses it, some others will have it and can help them get it again. We have the capacity, the option to store it for the first year, but we don't commit to anything beyond that because we are not a storage solution. We're just creators of this video. So that's to answer your question. I hope I answer it completely. Give me more questions, people. Ask about it. Show me as if you're interested in the service. Yes, go ahead.
So if I was interested in the service, a couple of things came to mind that I want to ask you.
Please.
On Mother's Day, I happened to be at Yellowstone National Park with my wife, and it was a life-changing experience. And I documented it all day on this phone. As you were talking, I was just thinking about documenting in history. I would love for one day for my children to see that footage and be able to see in real time, almost like what we were experiencing, right?
Correct.
Also, what I thought about was when my son was born, me and my wife, we started, for each of my kids, we started journals. And we write in those journals periodically, probably on a monthly basis, to each of our children, so that one day we can give these journals, we plan on doing it through their lives. And we plan on giving these kids these journals, because I feel like when adults grow up, a lot of times the stuff that we struggle with is knowing, we see our parents as parents. We don't necessarily know their hearts. So I wanted one day for my children, when I got to get up in their tail today and ask them right, I wanted them to have another reference to see my motivation and my heart behind, so that they don't have to wonder or question. They have it there in our writing, our words, that one day they can draw on. And then the third part of that thing that came to mind, I remember when my dad turned 50 years old, my mom spent a whole bunch of money, had this AV company come in and document the whole evening. It was a big, big deal. But after that, I don't know if I've ever watched that video one time. It's always been there. It's much, footage and content is much more readily accessible now than it was then. But I don't think me or anyone in my family have watched that video more than one time. So in this day and age where everybody just raises their hands and has a camera with them at all times, and they can set a tripod up and she or he can just ask me questions. I guess I'm trying to figure out why, when I can do this, and at the very most, if I don't know how to edit, I can hire somebody just to edit and put all my content together. Why invest in this? Because I'm certain this isn't going to be inexpensive. You know what I'm saying? So why invest in it when theoretically there's ways to do it ourselves?
Okay, so first of all, I salute you for ta-da! I salute you for documenting it and for working with your kids on creating a log of their life, a kind of a diary, and documenting it, because that will become handy. Will that be better than a video? I'm not sure, but it's still very good as a resource to go back to read it, and to look at their young selves, especially kids before the age of, I don't know what the ages you have, but before the age of 13, we don't remember much of what we did. Only at the age of 13, we start to remember in life. If you think about it, you have memories from the age of 13, not so many from before. So that's very important for young children to have to document. If you're gonna watch it in the future, it's only a question of what's in it, and what's in it for those who watch it. Okay, so while you have a video that may not really display what Jason was sitting here and talking about, it may include things that you already know, and you kind of in the back of your mind, you say to yourself like, you know what? I know all these things that are on the video. I don't need to watch it ever again. That's one way of looking at it. Will your kids appreciate this video in the future? Or maybe they will, because we don't necessarily create it for ourselves. We create it for our children. Now, as for the price, and you briefly went through the website, I'm not going to touch about the price because this is not a sales pitch. At least, if I understand correctly, that's not supposed to be. Yeah, it's okay. So right now we set the price. We're still like kind of looking into it to see that all the dots are connecting correctly, because as I mentioned, it's a service that was just launched, and we're still prone to make as many changes as needed. But right now, the service as it is costs $3,700. It's not cheap. So we did two things. First of all, you have to remember this is your entire life story, and it has great value, just like any wedding or any big events in your life, because this is the essence of all your life. So if you would pay that sum to document a wedding, which is what we would normally charge to document a wedding, you would want to document your life for that same amount. The second thing is that you have to take into consideration is that yes, you can approach an editor, but we offer a vast experience by editing specifically this type of stories. We add your pictures, we add your videos, we from young years, because as you mentioned, everybody has the phone. They have a lot of pictures, but guess what? Just like it's so easy to take pictures, it's so easy to lose them. Yes, there is iCloud and other services that will allow you to keep it for a long, long time. But then again, you don't even get to see these pictures. But if you put the story together with the pictures, that's amazing, because now you have a story that is just like a documentary. We don't call it documentary because documentary tend to touch a specific topic, while biography is all about, or especially like autobiography, is all about your own life. So that's, do we have time to run this video? Is there sound? Okay, yeah. Let me answer the question. It's better because this video is like about a minute or two, and it gives us like a better idea about like, the sentimental value of these videos. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, a different question, I suppose. And
Sure.
it's more, can you tell us just a little bit about your business and kind of what other services you offer, what segment of the market you're targeting, and then how you came to want to be an entrepreneur? Why you're even doing this in the first place?
So the why is a good question. If any of you follow like us addictively, like Simon Sinek, who wrote some books about starting with why, for example, the why is very important for every business. It's good that we are all business owners here, because you always want to start with why you're in business. If you have a vision that is so strong and so right on point with your company's DNA, people will always follow you and would like to do business with you. It's enough that you give the why. Of course, there are other methods of like talking about like how you do your service and what is the service. But let's start with your question. So why am I doing that? I think I touched that very lightly because time is limited here on this stage. The why is because I always loved the stories behind the people. If you remember, I spoke about like during the weddings, I would ask the bride, how did you get, to know each other? How did you meet? I mean, how did he propose? All these stories behind the people. When I work with, and that answers your second question about like what market segment. So for the past 15 years, we're creating like, like video commercials and documenting events, for companies. So this is what we do. But there's nothing unique about it. We wanted to create something unique. With Lasting Honor, we did not invent the wheel. People did it before us, and many will do it after us. But we wanted to improve it. That's why we created the software that goes with it that actually allow us to help people tell the better story when we sit with them. And that's answer to the question to the gentleman. What's your name, sir? Andrew? Yeah, that answer Andrew's question. You can do it with your phone. You don't need us. And that's absolutely fine. We actually encourage people, as many people as possible, create your own story. Tell the story for the sake of your, as a keepsake, for your children, for the next generation, for those you love, for your wife, for other people. And I'm not even touching the point of like older people that's, if they're at the last portion of their life and they may not be able to do that anymore, or those God forbid, terminal diseases like cancer and such on that you don't know if you're gonna live the day to tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead. What's the question? Oh, they want a microphone because it's also live streaming. So for people to hear you, if you can pass the microphone, yeah.
There are a lot of questions.
Yes, please. I'm excited to answer.
And you kind of touched on what I was going to ask about.
Yes.
So I think it's a great idea because I'm
Thank you.
not the person who would do that. Make a film of myself or film myself being somewhere, live streaming. Like, that's not me. So it's not in everybody's wheelhouse to do. But I was thinking about my mom, who is the oldest surviving person on her side of the family. And she has all this knowledge that isn't anywhere. It's not written down. She has all these stories. She knows all these people. She has all the connections. And we've been trying to capture that from her just by visiting and kind of having her tell stories. And so my daughter took it upon herself to start doing that on a regular basis so that we could kind of capture it, whether it's audio or written. But video would be fabulous because one day she's not going to be here and all of that information is going to be gone. And that would be something that we would want to have. And she's the type of person, my daughter is the type of person who will go to their house and look over the same albums over and over again and just ask grandma and grandpa questions about these people and these stories and, when did this happen and all of these things. And so if we could capture that for her and for her kids, that would be a wonderful memory to have.
So first of all, good job. I really appreciate what your daughter is doing to her grandmother, to your mother, because yes, when she's gonna be like like not anymore with us, I don't know how to say. I better get better at this because this is what we do. This is what we capture stories of those that may not be with us anymore. Anyways, these stories will go with her, and they will not be told. But forget about that. I want to touch a very interesting point. Do you know, or can you imagine how many stories she has that involve you and you never had the chance? In fact, let me put myself on the stand here. I'm already here. And let me tell you a story. So at some point, I'm asking my parents because I see somebody is trying to add me as a friend on Facebook. And I'm curious, who is this Ilya person? That's his name, Ilya. I don't know him, but I see that my parents are friends with him. So I ask my parents, like, who's this Ilya person that is trying to add me as a friend on Facebook? Something about myself, I add people after I meet them to be my friend, not before. I won't add like random people to be my friend. So all of you are welcome to friend me now because we are all know each other. So my father says, okay, so here's a story. And we love stories because that's what we do. We capture those stories. And side note, I did not get to do it with my parents because here is another challenge. You can't do it with your parents. That's the reason you didn't do it with your grandmother. Your daughter can, you cannot. Yes, you can to some level, but for some reason, and it's very psychological, I'm not going to get to it because I don't know the full scope of it, but when people know you and they interact with you day in, day out, in the routine, you just don't get to capture the real story out of them. It takes a stranger like us to show up in somebody's life and for them to spill information that they can't even say to their own daughter. Why? Again, psychological. You can learn about it. So to go back quickly to your question so we can take more questions, do it yourself to the level that you find that, okay, I'm getting into nowhere because I don't know how to edit it. I don't know how to ask the right kind of questions. I don't know how to dig nicely into my mom's life. And I don't know how to collect all these pictures and old videos and edit and put them together into a beautiful story and deliver it nicely. So That's all we do. So at that point, if you get to this point, hopefully you don't, but if you do, lasting honor. Okay, go ahead, please.
I'm also in production. I have
Yes,
a few
please.
Questions.
What can you tell me? What production?
Sit Right Productions.
Which is?
We do films and advertising, you name it.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Let's collab.
Yeah, that sounds
Yes,
great.
yes, absolutely.
So my question to you
Yes.
is your voice narrating through the video, or is it kind of, are you cutting yourself out of it?
So Roger and Charlene were introduced into the project about a month ago or less even, yes. Because they're in more interaction with us than anybody else around here, and I welcome everybody to be in more interaction with us. So Charlene, Roger's wife, she said, this is video autobiography. And it's true. She was not wrong. We market it as video biography in general, although it's told by first person. I'm not there to say nothing. In fact, we're not even recording our own questions. The answer include the question within itself when you start to speak about it. Just like Jason said, this teacher of mine, his name is Mr. that and that, and I remember him for that. Or this trip was meaningful for me because my friend got hurt. All these things are milestones that you carry with you, and you want to tell in your own language, with your own expressions. You don't want anybody else to be part of it, because those who will watch you will want to squeeze from these stories the most you can give them, and that's 100% you. So it's a video autobiography. Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And I had a suggestion.
Yes,
Take it
please.
or leave it.
Yes.
I love this idea. I
Thank
had
you.
A very similar idea way back in the day. I will never follow through with, but I would love to expand on that for you. Have you ever thought about offering like a QR code so that people can access it? Because I was thinking about somehow putting this on gravestones, because I thought that would be kind of interesting. So if you have a QR code that you can put on a plaque for people, they can add to their gravestones. That way, if they want, strangers can learn about them, and it can make the cemetery situation more interesting. Family members coming to visit can watch it. I just thought that might be a cheap and amazing addition to your package. Just think about it.
It's a great point. We welcome more of your inputs. Yeah, it's a great point. We welcome more of your inputs. Feel free to reach to us. In fact, I want to be in touch with you, because we're in the same field, so we can join forces. Oftentimes we need more people. And the idea is to develop it in such a way that we want to have teams to create it with us together. So you may become one of the teams to help us create it. So that's wonderful for you, wonderful for us. The way to deliver it, first of all, this is very intimate video. It's meant for the immediate family, not for wide sharing. There is another segment that we identify and we will go for, 100% sure, which are businessmen who, let's say, created an empire just like Jason did. And he's very modest, you can see by his smile, but in between the night market, the entrepreneur, the 1 million cups, the Jason with all of his big team, Abigail is here to testify. So he's already an empire by himself. An empire doesn't need to have like $100 million in their bank account, which I hope you do. But so basically, you see these successful people who made a progress in life, made something very meaningful. Even Charlene, who put together this beautiful organization for entrepreneur. If you didn't hear about it, you're welcome to go to face.org. So all these people, they want to tell the story of their success. They want to tell about the journey, because the journey matters, not only the end result, because the end result everybody is exposed to. I mean, if you take Dan Cathy, And if some of you know him, he's the head of like this Chick-fil-A, Trilith, and you name it. He has wonderful stories to tell, I'm sure. And he never had an opportunity other than when he was interviewed, but to tell his own story in his own words to his immediate family. The juicy stuff, not the stuff that is out there for everybody. So yes, we will be able to help people to share it themselves in a secure way, but we're not a storage facility, so we are not going to store it for them. Go ahead, please.
A quick question.
Yes.
First, I think it's brilliant. I think it's a valuable investment.
Thank you.
We go for a vacation for 3 days and we spend that much money, right? I'm thinking,
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
As a portrait photographer, I make sure that I always have something that my client can take as a tangible item, like one portrait that they will print, because I truly worry about what's going to happen to the digital world. We remember like the disc and then the flash drives, and like 20 years from now, where is this going to be, right? Do you plan on doing maybe something that would transcribe into print, like maybe whatever the interview is, we'll transcribe into a book or something that we can have if everything goes through?
So you were not part of this previous Artpreneur, if I remember correctly. You were the one year before, yes. In this previous Artpreneur, we spoke a lot about AI. Technology is ahead of us now. It's unbelievable because usually it was behind, and in some aspect today it's ahead of us. We need to catch up with it. To take this video and to transcribe it into like a whole story, the way it's told on the video, it's a click away. We don't have any advantage over there. No, there is nothing like business-wise that we can offer them. We have a wonderful thing that it's in the making. To those who purchase more than just a story, but more like add-ons that we have around them, and you're welcome to dig into our website and see all these add-ons. We include also as a bonus a printed version of quotes from this video. So we're also using this AI to help us to dig those important highlights out of the whole transcribed video, and we will print them into a nice book for them to keep because it's interesting, So, yeah, sure.
We have one more question, and then we're going to wrap up for the day. Hang in there. You're doing great.
Hi, thank you very much, Dr. Daphne.
What's it, Daphne?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We have some things going on. We always collaborate. What revenue goal are you wanting to reach in the next 3 to 5 years?
You're asking as like with the head of your own company, like as an advisor of some kind?
Yeah.
Because I know Aaron's intention. He asked questions kind of to start the conversation later for how we see ourselves and how we present ourselves in the market. But
Well, we work with companies who are looking to reach 5 million or more, and so I was just wondering what's your goal in terms of your company in the next 3 to 5 years?
okay, you know what? I would like to thank you a lot. Everybody who asked questions today, you really helped me to think about what mattered to people, because that's why I'm here. This one, in addition to all the other questions, helped me to touch something that I did not really touch. Yes, a vision for the future is always fantastic. It's great to imagine us ourselves in the near future getting to something bigger. And the way I see it, because everybody needs it, and I'm talking about like everybody, it needs to be like something that is part of our life. Just like we get married and we have a wedding video, we get to the age of, let's say, 55, and we need this life story. It's like you would ask a person, did you not yet create your story at 55? In fact, You know how it is when you retire and you're getting a gold watch? Is that still a thing nowadays? You work with Jason. You work with young people, so for you, retirement is like in the far future. But yeah, it's like imagine somebody is retiring over there. It's like
That will happen.
yeah,
That will happen.
well,
I will definitely outwork people who work for me. I can guarantee it.
at least you feel the commitment that when they retire. What am I getting them? A bunch of flowers. So I want every company to ditch this gold watch, and I want every company to say, you're getting a lasting honor. It's gonna turn to be a term, the way I see it, as something that everybody is getting it. Now, it's kind of strange for me to say it as a one person, who's doing this work himself right now. But to answer your question, Daphne, right? I would say, yeah. So to answer specifically your question, the way I see it is it's a nationwide service done by freelancers, creators, just like I forgot the name.
Rachel.
Just like Rachel, I didn't ask for her for a name. Now I know. So you see, slowly but surely, I know everybody's here. So just like Rachel asked, she's going to be one of these freelance companies, or maybe under contract of some kind, that will provide the service around here in Fayetteville. We're going to have people in California, in Florida, every state. When somebody wants to create their life story, we have somebody nearby who is ready to work with you and create this life story.
I think the fact that they're asking you these questions is proof that we all believe that this is very scalable. It is a needed thing. I think my grandmother's 96 years old and she's showing signs of losing her memory. So she lives in Florida, but I'm trying to get my dad to bring her up here next time they come. Tomorrow, that's not happening. Next time after that they come. And I think all of my cousins would contribute to going in on this. My only, like you say, at 55 when you retire, I feel like my only hesitation here is like if I was to do this now, I'm 45 years old. I feel like there's a whole lot more to come that I don't want this video to end now. I want to be able to add to it later. So, of course, you said there's add-ons, right? Maybe one of your add-ons is a continuation. I don't know. We do have to wrap up, so don't go too deep into it. But
Yeah.
that's just, that's kind of my last thought.
A 5-second answer.
Go ahead.
Create chapter 1, come back for chapter 2, 3, and 4, and such on.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All of you guys for such great questions and feedback. This is a big compliment to you for being a presenter today.
Oh, thank you so much.
I know that you couldn't make it last week before presenting, but I hope you guys come back on a weekly basis from now on.
We gotta do things.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you. See you next week. Oh, Margaret has an announcement to make, and they left. Chef Drew has an announcement to make too.
Good morning, everybody. Really quickly, some of you I know already, some of you I don't. I am Margaret Coleman, and one of my jobs is for the Fayette County Public School System, and I'm the mentor program specialist. So I'm constantly trying to recruit mentors from the community. Now, we're off for the summer after this week, and so I won't be recruiting very much during the summer, but I am hoping that I can ask you guys to help me recruit. So I brought some business cards with me,